You've probably heard of Part 14 or the installation standard, and if you're not an installer, you might think, that's not my problem. I hate to break it to you, but probably is. Stick around, here are 5 things you need to know about this standard, even if you work at a desk and you never even touch a screwdriver. The new edition of the IEC standard came out in 2024 and the BS-EN version is out imminently, so it's a good time to talk about the installation standard. I'm John from Insight EX and we help people to understand the EX industry. Let's start with the name. IEC 60079-14 2024. Sounds great, but no one calls it that. So we call it Part 14 or the installation standard, but that name is misleading. The full title of the standard is Electrical Installation Design, Selection and Installation of Equipment, including Initial Inspection. So there's much more to it than just wiring up. The title of the standard has also changed in this new edition. They've dropped the word erection this time, no idea why. The standard has also been completely reformatted to put the activities for design, selection and installation into their own discrete sections, making it easier to understand who should be performing which activities, and it's not just the installer. A lot of EX standards are product standards. They tell manufacturers how to design and build safe equipment, but Part 14, it's a code of practice. It covers how we install that equipment safely. Installers usually know about it, but manufacturers, not so much. And that's a problem, because if you're designing or assembling EX equipment, you're playing a vital role in the installation too. By the time the equipment gets to the installer, it's often too late. A lot of the activities are now siloed with no one looking at the big picture. Designers pick components, someone else does the wiring diagram, someone else picks the glands, and then the installer gets a box of parts. But has anyone made sure that it all works together? And more importantly, meets the requirements for the type of protection detailed in Part 14. Take EXD cable glands. New changes in the standard mean that cables and glands need to be assessed together, and if this isn't done correctly, the installer could have the wrong equipment or the wrong guidance, and it shouldn't be up to the installers to be the last line of defense. If you're packaging EX equipment, maybe you're building skids or panels or whatever, and it's not type certified with an EX equipment certificate, then you're responsible for compliance. The Certified Assembly Standard 60079 Part 46 says that your build must follow Part 14 for things like glands and cables. So even if you're not an installer, but you are packaging equipment, you're doing installation work, and you need to be aware of the requirements of Part 14. This goes for those assessing and inspecting the equipment too, not just the manufacturer. Installers, generally well trained. They have all of their tickets, they have all of their courses and audits, you name it. They won't be allowed on site without it. But designers, not so much. People can come straight into the EX industry from uni or from another industry, and they could be designing and selecting equipment for full EX systems for offshore rigs with zero EX training. But I wouldn't know anything about that. Competence in the installation standard tends to drop off the higher you go up the value chain. Yet every bit of EX equipment will eventually need to be installed safely, and that process starts at the very beginning. This isn't just an installation issue, it's an everyone issue. If you're writing installation instructions, if you're selecting components or maybe building EX assemblies, the standard is your responsibility too. Maybe it's time we stopped calling it the installation standard, but we probably won't. Leaving all the work to the installer is just kicking the can down the road, and it means skipping essential steps. If you're working with EXD in particular, you're definitely missing important information in making that whole installation safe. So although installers are typically well trained, no one knows your equipment as well as you do if you're the manufacturer. So the answer should be, get to know the standard and learn how it applies to your equipment. Feel free to check out our website for more information and to see how our training courses could help your organisation. See you on the next one.